Hello, good afternoon, Tribuners. Welcome back with me, Mutiara, in Indonesian News of Tribun Lampung. We will present you an updating and interesting information from every place in Indonesia. And here the complete news. The first news is a 4-year-old toddler in Madura has a habit of inhaling the smell of gasoline. Habits of a 4-year-old toddler in Rabasan Village, Camplong District, Sampang Regency, Madura, who are addicted to inhaling the smell of gasoline get serious attention from many people. Sampang Resort Police Chief Police Grand Commissioner Adjutant Arman with the head of the Health and Family Planning Office Sampang, Dr. Abdullah Najih among them. They also went to the residence of the toddler with the initial A on Thursday, 16 June 2022. Even during his visit, he also provided social assistance in the form of money and gifts of toys. Hope A can stop the habit that has been running for a year. Sampang Resort Police Chief Arman said that his arrival with his entourage was to see firsthand the condition of Al, who has the pleasure of inhaling the smell of gasoline in his house. After receiving treatment from the psychiatry poly at the Regional General Hospital, Dr. Muhammad Zin Sampang. In the same place, the head of the Sampang Health and Family Planning Office, Dr. Abdullah Najih, conveyed there are several ways to get rid of Alifa's bad habits. As with behavioral therapy, it means trying to get rid of the smell of gasoline, then replace it with another scent that is not harmful to the body, so the child forgets with the bad habits. The next news is dozens of houses in Maros were damaged by the tornado. Dozens of houses in Maros Baru sub-district Maros were damaged by a tornado on Thursday, 16 June 2022. Head of the Maros Regional Disaster Management Agency, Muhammad Fadli, said the incident occurred around 4:30 p.m. Regarding the data on the level of damage, the Regional Disaster Management Agency is still waiting for the data from the local government. He detailed the 82 houses spread over 3 wards. From the data obtained, until now, there have been no casualties from this tornado incident. Fadli explained most of the evacuated residents choose to evacuate to their families' homes. However, the damage to their houses was light. They still survived it. Meanwhile, his party is currently still coordinating with the government regarding the refugee camps. Meanwhile, one of the residents, Rapita Ayu, said that at the time of the incident, a tornado came suddenly. As a result of the incident, the roof of the terrace was blown away by the wind. The next news comes from East Java. Packaged syrup production plant in Surabaya catches fire. A fire broke out in the kitchen room for the production of packaged syrup at West Petemon Street with number 171 Kupang Krajan, Sawahan, Surabaya on Thursday, 16 June 2022 in the afternoon. The victim's name is Suryadi Kurniawan, or familiarly called Mr. Aseng, who is the boss or owner of the syrup production site. Mr. Aseng suffered burns to his hands and neck as a result of being exposed to flames that gushed out of a 45-kilogram LPG tub, which was suspected to be leaking. In front of his terrace, the man in the navy blue short-sleeved shirt kept dipping his injured palms in a bucket of ice water. A syrup factory employee, Dimas, said that the source of the fire that caused his boss hand to be leaked and suffered minor injuries was caused by a leaking LPG gas hose. At the time, Mr. Aseng and himself were busy fixing the condition of the white LPG tap hose lining, which was damaged. The surface layer of the LPG tap hose looks bloated, so it is necessary to carry out a replacement process before the tap, which still contains gas, is used to turn on the production equipment. Dimas admitted that the incident took place so quickly, seeing the leak of the gas hose suddenly turning into flames. He immediately rushed to save his boss, then took the canister of light fire extinguisher. The man in the black shirt admitted that the factory produces syrups. There were the casualties in the incident. Before the flames got bigger and leaked other things, several fellow employees worked together to extinguish the fire. Meanwhile, the head of operations of the Surabaya City Fire and Rescue Service, Wasi Sutikno, said that the fire originated from a leak in the 45 kg LPG tap hose used for the factory's production. In dealing with the fire incident, 10 fire trucks of various types were deployed to extinguish the fire. After doing the wetting, the officer also drained the contents of the LPG gas cylinder, which was the cause of the fire. The next news is viral video of moving cattle at the port of Samarinda. A video of the transfer of several cows, which is believed to have been carried out at the Samarinda port, has gone viral on social media and has been widely discussed by the public. The reason is that the 27-second video shows an unusual way of unloading sacrificial animals. That is, several cows are transferred from a ship to a truck using a crane, by means of which the heads are tied together and are seen hanging. The next news comes from North Tapanuli. A father becomes a suspect in immoral acts against his stepdaughter. After the disclosure of the case of immoral acts committed by a stepfather against his underage daughter, head of the National Commission for Child Protection, Aris Merdeka, said that North Tapanuli was included in the red zone category of sexual crimes. He also said that sexual crimes that occur in Tapanuli were generally committed by people closest to the victim. In fact, he also conveyed the issue of sexual violence, which recently caught the attention of the people of North Tapanuli. So, in the near future, he will invite the North Tapanuli district government to educate the public about sexual violence against children. Previously, it was reported that a 35-year-old U.S. suspect had been arrested by officers on suspicion of immoral acts against his stepdaughter, which were carried out continuously. AZP is 14 years old. An underage girl became a victim of immoral acts by her stepfather. Regarding this incident, the head of public relations section of the North Tapanuli Resort Police, First Police Inspector Adjutant Walpon Baringbing, explained that the chronology of events. After committing an immoral act to the victim, the perpetrator then threatened the victim not to tell anyone what he did. It turned out that the depraved acts of the perpetrators continued. He explained that after being examined by a doctor, it turned out that the victim was 7 months pregnant. Then the victim's mother asked her doctor about who got her pregnant, but because she was afraid of the threat of her stepfather, the victim was silent until her parents evacuated her to a boarding house in the Balige area, Toba. Furthermore, the chairman of the National Commission for Child Protection, Aris Merdeka Sirait, explained that the perpetrators were threatened with 15 years in prison. The next news is, the Riau Village head office was burglarized. The office of the Riau Village head, Riau Silip District, Kupang Regency, was burglarized. It is suspected that the perpetrator took action on Thursday, June 16, 2022 this morning. The perpetrator managed to steal around 170 million rupiah in cash that was in the safe. The perpetrator entered by breaking the office key, then broke into one of the rooms and broke the safe in the Riau Village head office. The theft case with this weight is still under investigation by the Bangka Resort Police Criminal Investigation Unit. According to Rene Zakaria, the case of around 170 million rupiah, based on the reporter's information, was village fund money that was kept in a safe. The perpetrator entered the village office by breaking the barred door, then go into one of the rooms where there is an iron safe containing the village funds. Members of the optional, along with the identification team for the Criminal Investigation Unit of Bangka Resort Police, have visited the location to take fingerprints and ask for witness statements. The large amount of cash that was lost by mailing at the Riau Village office is very unfortunate. According to Rene Zakaria, that amount of money should not be kept in the office. This clearly invites criminals. It would be safer and wiser if the money was deposited in a bank. The last news is, for Kendari State High School will implement an independent learning curriculum. For State High School Kendari, Southeast Sulawesi Province will implement the Merdeka learning curriculum in the next semester. The head of the Kendari Fourth State High School, Liu, said that the implementation of the Merdeka learning curriculum wouldn't only be applied to the 10th grade. He said that considering that the 11 and 12th graders were carrying out the previously implemented curriculum. For this reason, Liu said that now the teachers of the Kendari State High School are studying to prepare themselves for the implementation of the curriculum. Liu explained it. To maximize the implementation of the curriculum, he would go directly to see the school that first implemented the Merdeka learning curriculum. In addition, Liu said that it is not only the implementation that will be imitated, but also the implementation of a pretty good school. Liu hopes that later students who follow the Merdeka learning curriculum will feel comfortable and can develop more clearly. He said, learning in the implementation of the curriculum will be associated with a lot of students in everyday life and more relaxed. As quoted by Tribun News Sulawesi from tribunnews.com, Minister Nadiem explained that the implementation of the Merdeka learning curriculum was an over or an option, so don't force the school at all to implement it. However, he hopes that educators and school principals see this curriculum from the breadth of its benefits for learning recovery. For this reason, his party gives them much greater flexibility to develop learning by prioritizing project-based learning. Well, I think that's all the news for today with me, Mutiara. Don't forget to follow us in our YouTube channel Tribun News. Tribun News, Tribun Lampung News Video, Tribun Lampung Facebook, Tribun Lampung Instagram, and Tribun Lampung's TikTok for further information. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.